Welcome to our video of installation rules, part 16 of paper 1. We focus on section 7.9 of SANS 10142, and here we discuss extra low voltage lighting installations. General note: the requirements of this part of SANS 10142 are applicable to all subclauses of this subclause 7.9, except where this subclause modifies or replaces certain of the general requirements. The particular requirements in this subclause apply to extra low voltage lighting installations supplied from sources with a maximum rated voltage of 50 volts AC or 120 volts DC. For extra low voltage lighting installations, only shelf shall be applied. The following components of safety extra low voltage lighting installations shall not be installed unless they comply with the appropriate standards. Safety isolating transformers shall comply with SANS 61558-2-6. Converters electric power supply units shall comply with SANS 61347-2-2. Supply track systems for luminaires shall comply with SANS 60570, and bare wire extra low voltage lighting systems shall comply with SANS 60598-2-23. The rated output current of the safety extra low voltage source, transformer or converter shall not exceed 25 amps. The secondary circuits of more than one transformer shall not be connected in parallel. The fixed secondary circuit of a transformer or converter connected to a socket outlet is part of the electrical installation. Metallic structural parts of buildings, for example, pipe systems or parts of furniture, shall not be used as live conductors. Wiring systems. Current carrying capacity. In an extra low voltage lighting circuit, conductors with the appropriate steady-state current rating shall be used to allow for the high currents usually associated with extra low voltage types of light. The sum of the current ratings of the secondary circuits shall not exceed 125% of the transformer rating. Length of circuit and size of conductor. Since voltage drop has an adverse effect on light output, the recommended maximum length of the self-circuit between the source and the load and the minimum conductor size for the circuit are given in table 7.3 for different loads and voltages. Note 1. It is recommended that each extra low voltage light be supplied by its own self-source, transformer or converter. Note 2. The conductor size can be reduced when a ring circuit is used. Note 3. The manufacturer's instructions may contain more stringent requirements for the length of the circuit between the earth source and the lamp. The size of the self-circuit conductors shall not be less than 1.5 square millimeters. Here's table 7.3, and if we look at the loads on the left-hand side, from 20 up until 60, there's the different voltages with the sizes of conductors to be used. And there the table continues with the length of circuit between sources and the load. Voltage drops in consumers' installations. In extra low voltage lighting installations, particular attention shall be given to the voltage drop requirements. See 6.2.7, because voltage drop has an adverse effect on light output. Bare conductors. Bare conductors may only be used in an extra low voltage lighting installation system if the nominal voltage does not exceed 25 volts AC or 60 volts DC. The wiring system is made up of compatible components and complies as a complete unit with SANS 60598-2-23, and the conductors are at least 1 meter from the thatch under a thatched roof. If both circuit conductors are uninsulated and supplied from a converter that complies with SANS 61347-2-2, the power of the converter shall not exceed 200 VA. Protection. Protection against both direct and indirect contact. Components shall be mounted in an enclosure, ventilated where necessary unless they are suitably designed, and include provision for the termination of conductors to and from the components and for the mounting of protective devices. Terminations and connections of conductors shall be made by screw terminals or screwless clamping devices that comply with SANS 60998-2-1 or SANS 60998-2-2 respectively. Protection against overcurrent. When selecting the protective device and conductor size for the primary circuit, account shall be taken of the magnetizing current, inrush current of the transformer. Except as allowed in 7.9.3.2.4, each secondary circuit of safety extra low voltage supply source, transformer or converter shall have overcurrent protection. The overcurrent protection may be either by a common protective device or a protective device for each safety extra low voltage circuit. Note, a circuit breaker installed in the secondary circuit is not regarded as a distribution board and may be installed in an accessible position in the roof space. A protective device shall be readily accessible unless it is built into the supply source and is of the automatic resetting type. Secondary overcurrent protection is not required where the maximum output of the cell's transformer is 50 volt amps. The secondary circuit conductor is at least 1.5 square millimeters, not exceeding a length of 2.5 meter, and at least one conductor and its terminals are insulated to prevent a short circuit. Protection against fire risk. Mounting of luminaires. For the selection of luminaires with regard to their thermal effect on the surroundings, the following features shall be taken into account. The maximum permissible power dissipated by the lamps, fire resistance of adjacent material, and at the point of installation and in the thermally affected areas, and minimum distance to combustible materials, including materials in the path of a spotlight beam. Depending on the fire resistance of the material at the point of installation and in thermally affected areas, the manufacturer's installation instructions shall be followed. Marked luminaires shall be selected and installed according to the marking instructions. At least 200 mm of the conductors leading from the ELV lamp holder shall be 180 degrees Celsius class H flexible conductors such as silicon rubber insulated conductors. The lamp holder shall also be suitable for an operating temperature of at least 180 degrees Celsius. The ELV power source shall not be installed above the lamp or within 200 millimeters from the lamp to any side unless a heat barrier is installed between the lamp and the power source. Fire risk by short circuit. At least one conductor and its terminals for the part of the circuit between the transformer and the protective device shall be insulated to prevent a short circuit. Position of components. Primary terminals of the supply source shall be in an enclosure. Cables shall be fixed in such a way as to prevent strain on the terminals or connectors. Any self-sources with a mass of more than 1 kg shall be fixed. Transformers, protective devices or similar equipment which are mounted above ceilings or in a similar place shall, as far as is reasonably practicable, be mounted on a fixed part of the building such as a beam. If the identification of a protective device for a circuit is not immediately evident, a sign or diagram label close to the protective device shall identify the circuit and its purpose. That brings us to the end of this video. Please click on the playlist to see the rest of the videos in our series, as well as subscribe and like to be informed of new content. Thank you very much for viewing this video and good luck with the exams. Thank you.